So I have this idea for a movie. It's about this guy. He's a tech company CEO, youngish, maybe mid to late 30s. That's young, right? He's popular and influential and super charismatic, like a real Steve Jobs type. Let's call him Steve. And Steve's company is about to launch a crazy new product that works by talking directly to your brain. You know how Amazon can show you a list of product recommendations based on things you already bought, or how Google can optimize search results based on things it already knows about you? That all works using a thing called machine learning, which is exactly what it sounds like. And it's safe to assume that it gets way, way smarter over the next couple of years. So let's imply that this story takes place sometime in the near future. So this company is about to release a machine learning device called Best Case. It uses a combination of anonymous data from other users and your brain's chemical and electrical signals to generate the most likely outcome of a decision. And because it's in your brain already, it can show you that outcome instantly. If you ever wonder which brand of toilet paper to buy, Best Case can show you what it's like to actually use all of them instantly. But just like how your phone knows way too much about you from having access to your email and seeing your location and your calendar, Best Case is right there in your brain. So it can even track your emotions and your subconscious thoughts and your fears and your desires and your fantasies. Want to know which Tinder date you should meet up with? Best Case will use everything it knows about you and similar situations to forecast how each option will go down. And you'll get to see the outcomes for all of them instantly. But let's say this ends up becoming really controversial for a whole bunch of reasons. There's like ethical implications and there's health questions, but the biggest and most vocal group would be like an anonymous style privacy advocacy group. If Best Case knows this much about your most intimate thoughts, what happens if that data gets out? So let's say Steve's been working with his team to address this whole thing head on. They've been working on a whole bunch of privacy fail-safes to make sure that nothing goes wrong. They've got end-to-end encryption and private keys and secure enclaves and blockchain and other buzzwords, whatever, it's super secure. Let's talk about Steve's home life. It's pretty idyllic, beautiful wife, house in the suburbs, maybe no kids, but soon. We'll spend a little bit of time showing off their relationship and how they're seen in public. Okay, so the stage is set. We understand the landscape and we've gotten to know our hero. Now, let's ruin his life. Maybe Steve's perfect life isn't so perfect after all. Maybe he's been hooking up with somebody else on the side, and now somebody from one of those privacy advocacy groups is threatening to release a sex tape and destroy his life if he doesn't cancel the launch. Or better yet, maybe they claim to have beaten Best Case's security and got the proof that way. And that could give us an element of paranoia from the inside, like, could it have been someone on his team? Somewhere in the first act, we should have a scene where the chip fuzzes out a little bit and some engineer or scientist type mentions that they want to run diagnostics. Okay, so this is all very Mr. Robot and all, but let's go a little bit more Philip K. Dick. Like, what if his wife turns up dead? Now, Steve's a person of interest and rapidly becoming a prime suspect, so you get like a Gone Girl thing going on here. Tech company billionaire CEO turned murderer. Where does one of the world's most recognizable people even go to hide? How does he prove that he's innocent? Remember the Best Case privacy policy? Maybe Steve's only chance might be to break his own security. Maybe that's his only way to get the data that proves he's innocent. All right, there's technology problems here, but we can solve those or we can movie glitter our way out of them. So the bulk of the drama for our second and third acts are all around Steve trying to break into his own company. Maybe he ends up needing to team up with one of the hackers to exonerate himself, or maybe we can slowly unravel some insidious things about his wife and some of the stuff that she was tied up in, and like lean into the Gone Girl thing. This is a psychological thriller, so the underlying question through all of this should be the influence that Best Case is having on his thinking. Did Steve kill his wife? Is she even really dead? Maybe she's in on it. Maybe she is dead and the chip just decided it would be best to hide the truth so he wouldn't know what he'd really done. The audience should be questioning his grip on reality, but how do we resolve this? Our climax should find Steve at the heart of the beast, confronted with his own actions and the human impact of his technology. Let's say his wife really was in on it. She found out about the affair and she started working with a member of the development team to blackmail him and make him think that he was going insane. Steve confronts his wife with a gun in his hand, only to have the chip glitch out a little bit. The gun's in her hand. Now it's back in his. Who's really in control? Is this another one of her tricks? And now, betrayed by his wife, his reputation ruined, his company in shambles, and his very sanity in question, maybe the darkest of all realizations leads him to doing the unthinkable. Steve puts the gun in his mouth to end his own life, to stop things from getting worse. He pulls the trigger. Cut to Steve opening his eyes. Our big reveal, this was just the first run of Best Case, showing him one likely outcome of making this technology public. A personalized, highly detailed look at the consequences of his actions. Everything, every detail, every feeling, every action was simulated in Steve's mind, instantly. His experiences should leave him shaken, looking around the room and seeing members of his team and his wife watching with anticipation. But does Best Case know something about these people that he doesn't? Did it see something that he doesn't? It has access to his memories. Even if these events never play out, what does it mean that they could? Okay, so I'm obviously pulling from a bunch of different places here. Fight Club, Vanilla Sky, Minority Report, but I think the closest fit for the technology is the Assassin's Creed series, which, by the way, the new game, Assassin's Creed Origins, is out now, and if you're a fan of the whole simulated reality thing, I definitely recommend you check it out.
And if you'd like to know about how uploading your brain to a computer might impact society in the future, you can check out my video next over at Real Life Lore.
But let's keep spitballing. What can we do to make this story better? What about our hero? What happens if we make him or her? How does the story change if it's a tech industry CEO woman taking on a community of hackers? Is it worth getting political like that? So now you've heard the bad version. Let's hear your version in the comments.